Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing very, very well. Yeah, I am so happy. I went through all of that with those retrogrades, especially when Mercury hit. Cleared out so much. So much. A lot of healing. Oh, shoot, it's still in my eye. Mornings. Oh, there we go. Okay. And I'm so glad that I got these bracelets. I notice a huge difference when I'm not wearing them versus when I am, actually. It's weird. I even though I've always worn my, like my clear quartz crystal and so forth, I guess in some ways I never really still didn't put a whole lot of stock into them as far as, what they claim the capabilities are and so forth. But I've got to tell you, since I've been wearing these, I've noticed a huge difference. And if it's accurate with them being amplified by clear quartz, even that much so. Yeah, it's pretty. Like I said, I noticed a huge difference. Yeah, I got a little silly girl right here. So, yeah, and I'm glad it happened, and I was forced to stay home before heading back out to work. I got a real treat last night with work. At first I was kind of getting little itty bitty orders or what have you, and then I got thrown way north, basically northwest up Rogers. I'm like, where did I wind up? Way up there in Rogers. And it was just like, okay, well, this is cool and everything. And so I was up around there working, and next thing I know, I'm getting further and further out. And all the way to the point I picked up, I was way up in Monticello, working that area a little bit. And, I almost forgot, I have to mention this. I wound up dropping off this order. Well, it was funny, just beforehand, I was on this road. It was a little bit twisting, winding, what have you. But I picked out 3 bikers tailgating me. They went past me, but it was kind of difficult. Well, for one thing, it was no passing zones. But at the same point, with the twists and turns and kind of a little bit hilly and so forth, it could be difficult to see sometimes, if they could pass. Well, then when they finally got an opportunity to do it, it was right where I needed to do my turn off. And the whole time they were getting fucking pissed. And it's like, well, excuse me for wanting to go the speed limit, okay? Especially on a road where I'm not familiar, It's like, whatever. I mean, I will go a little over speed limit, But, I mean, they just wanted to haul ass, basically, is what it boiled down to. And I knew that. I recognized that, so. But that was funny. So, anyway, the road I wound up turning off onto was this dead-end dirt road. And I'm going through, and it was just, oh my gosh, it was so beautiful, so peaceful and everything. I mean, it was just gorgeous. And as I'm going down this road, over to my right was this cute little homestead. It was a log cabin, nice size log cabin, with this, even the garage was basically log cabin style, okay? It was a nice little spread that they had there. And they had over on the, I guess I would say the south side of the property, had a little garden, and they also had a chicken coop area, or basically a pen for farm animals, some small farm animals. I think I saw chickens, maybe maybe a couple of geese, or maybe ducks. I'm not too sure as I was driving by, because I was just going by or whatever. But anyway, the one that stuck out the most was a little goat. Mm-hmm. And it would hear me and bah! Oh my gosh. And it did it going and coming back out too. Oh my gosh. It was the cutest little thing. It would bay at me each direction. Oh my gosh. It was so darn cute. I mean, so cute. Oh, but yeah. I was in love. I was in total heaven. Or at least I thought, anyway, at that point. And anyway, I got all the way down there to the end where the house was, dropped off, coming back out, and there was fields of some sort of crops that were growing. I have no idea what they were. All I know is that they were low to the ground. That much I do know. But out there at the other end of the field, and I'm going to say it was probably the field for the guy that I just dropped off, it was surrounded by woods at the where the field, the crops, and the woods start. There was a giant doe. So it was, and she was, of course, eating the crops. I'm like, I'm not going to say anything. I didn't see her until I was coming back out. And she was a little too far away for me to be able to get a picture, so that's why I didn't get one. But she was beautiful, really, really beautiful. So, but yeah, that was a real treat. And then, after that, I got a request. I think it was at that point I got a request for a Walmart run, but it was a nice dollar amount, and I was just like, I'll take it. It was 3 orders. First 2 were close by, but the second one was way out, and I mean way out. It was about 10 miles, which is pretty far for a Walmart run. And I was actually a little surprised that they incorporated them into their delivery area. I was really shocked because I haven't seen that before. And it was way out in this area called Maple Lake. And there is a lake out there, but it's a lot of farm country. And I'm talking farms, not just, okay, here's a little plot of land, like a few acres, maybe 10, 20 acres or something like that. And we're going to plant some corn, No, there's a lot of corn grown here, which I'll get to here in a minute. It's not surprising. It's a big-time crop. Well, I'll just go ahead and say it doesn't surprise me that corn is a big crop because, I mean, you find it in everything. It's bad. It's as bad as wheat, basically. You find corn in everything, even in your gasoline tank. Even your regular unleaded has got a small amount of ethanol in it, and ethanol is corn based. Okay, the candy that you eat with, if it's hard candy, like something like cherry candy. All right, Sour Patch Kids, or not Sour Patch, Sour Patch, whatever those things are, caramel, your candy bars, so on and so forth. Basically your base for candy and caramel is corn syrup. Okay? If you've ever made hard candy or made caramel with your mom when you were a kid or something, your main ingredient is going to be corn syrup. Okay? So even the meat that you eat has got corn in it, the feed. Okay? the feed for the animals. Most of it is corn based. All right. So, I mean, even if it's like if you look at your packaging and if you buy grass fed, all right, they'll indicate if it's organic grass fed or not. If it's organic grass fed, that means that the feed that was given to the cow on its way to slaughter, or when it was at slaughter and waiting for slaughter, was given some sort of organic feed, and that feed is usually corn. Okay, so that's something. So it's like I said, it's even in your meat, in your beef, and or if chicken, same thing. They're usually being given corn. I mean, there is chicken feed, okay, but it does have corn in it, okay. There's this one stuff, oh, what is it called? Egg, you give it to the babies. I can't remember what it's called. It's a real small fine granule. It's not corn feed, but anyway, it's egg layer. There are egg layer pellets and egg layer granules, basically. I can't think of what the proper term that they use. I haven't had baby ducks in close to 30 years, so I'm a little rusty out of practice. And tell you the truth, I've forgotten all about it until this moment. But anyway, it's what you feed them, you know, the baby chickens, the baby ducks, to help them with their growing, if you're growing them domesticated. So, and it's supposed to also help the females with their egg production. Okay, so they're not the eggshell itself. Well, when the egg comes out, it's actually very soft, and then it hardens once it hits the air. Okay, but when they're being raised domestically, a lot of times what can wind up happening is that shell doesn't harden, so you don't wind up basically with a proper egg, whether it's for eating or if it actually has baby inside, you know, an embryo inside. It won't, sometimes it won't harden because they haven't been getting the proper nutrients for that egg to harden. So that's why you get that those egg layer pellets and the granules and so forth. So, and it usually happens with inexperienced people, and they're just feeding grain, basically the corn feed, and they're not also supplying them a proper source of protein. Maybe they're not getting it with going out there scratching around, you know, for like buggies, wormies, things like this. Okay, maybe they haven't been doing it either themselves, or maybe there isn't a proper supply of it on the land, or what have you. So you can substitute by getting the egg layer pellets and so forth. Okay, but of course you need to have it ground up for when they're babies. So anywho, yeah, that's one thing that you can use. It's good for like the chickens, but for ducks you can also substitute for dog food, but you need to do better ones, not ones like Beneful or something. I don't think you could use Beneful, but like either Purina, or what they really like is Pedigree. So that's what I have done. But of course you have to be careful if you're doing organic. Okay, you got to make sure you're following those regulations. And of course, because of course those are not organic feeds. So yeah, you got to and especially if you're trying to use the chickens, maybe you're not raising them for slaughter, but if you're raising them for either the organic eggs or free range eggs, or if you're trying to raise them for their fodder, then, excuse me, for the fertilizer for your crops, you got to make sure that you're following those proper regulations and everything. So, anywho, don't take my advice if you're trying to do organic or farming or what have you, and trying to use chickens, ducks for, yeah, organic purposes. At least when it comes to, feeding them the dog food or whatever. So, but yeah, I do miss that. I had ducks when I was younger. I miss having them. I'd like to have them again. I will. So anyway, that was a big treat. So yeah, like I said, that I was up there, but way up there in Monticello. That's probably from this point, 30 to 45-minute drive, something like that. But then that last run that I picked up, or that last leg of the Walmart order, that one took me way out to Maple Lake. And when I got home, I broke out Angie's map that she's letting me use to see where it was in proximity or in relation to everything else. It's off the map. Gorgeous area. Beautiful. Of course, a lot, and like I said, it was, it's actual, real farms. We're talking commercial farms out there. Big time. We're talking acres upon acres upon acres of crop fields. So, yeah, big time commercial farming going on out there. Loved it. I was in total heaven. I was like, oh my gosh, this is just awesome, amazing. Of course, again, a lot of cornfields, but I also saw hay fields, wheat field. I saw a wheat field, hay slash straw. I'm going to say most likely hay versus I don't know. It could go either way. I'm not too sure. But anyway, because I saw them, somebody out there, actually cutting it down and having it rolled. Okay, so I saw quite a bit of that, or at least a little bit. A lot of different other kinds of crops also. I think I may have seen soy also out there. And of course, soy is big. That's thrown in just about everything, also including your candy bars, your chocolate, especially chocolate. They'll use soy quite a bit. If you read your ingredients, they use it quite a bit in your candy bars. Seriously? Okay. Oh my. My. This one would probably be very skittish about it out there, but she would get into it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you would. Mommy was someplace last night that was really awesome. Yeah, a lot of big farms. She's like, what's a farm? You're going to find out. Hopefully, before you pass away. Let's see here. What else? Lots of horses. A lot of horse ranches. Quite a few. Even one where they train horses for competition. Okay, I'm not talking horse races. I'm talking about, like where they have the fencing and so forth. Okay, so yeah, I saw some of that. Cows. Haven't seen cows, and oh my gosh, it's been a while. Especially these cows. I was just like, oh, and there was a couple there that were right there, right next to the road. Oh, it was so awesome. It took me right back to my grandparents' farm there in Wisconsin. Oh, I was in total heaven. I was like, oh, and there was a lady. She had her own farm also. I don't know if she was married or whatever. I didn't see a man, but she was out there and on a small John Deere tractor, tending to her own garden, doing doing some stuff with in her own garden. So it's like, oh my gosh, and beautiful homes. Some of them old farm homes, the big, different sized barns and silos, and some of them had the what I would consider to be more ornate tops, the vents on top or what have you. Beautiful, gorgeous. Um, and so of course the train tracks were running through. I did see a train. That was weird. It was a line, a railroad line I wasn't familiar with. Kansas City. It was Kansas something in Mexico. So it was something to do. Yeah, I have no idea. I'd have to look it up. It was a couple of engines. That was what was weird too. It was a couple of engines. Then there were some grain hoppers, and then in the middle of the train was another engine, and then there was more grain hoppers. It was like, okay, they must have needed some extra power there in the middle or something, or they just decide, fuck it, we're just gonna connect these two trains right there in the middle. You're gonna sit in the middle of this. It was weird. It was very, very weird. I haven't seen that in quite a while, especially not with grain hoppers. But then again, if they're that with where I dropped off, it was actually at a senior living complex, very small complex. And right there on the other side of the street was a granary. So, and of course there were tracks right there where they had, basically it's where the farmers will take their grain to there to drop it off, or somebody will. It will go there. It will sit there until the train comes, and then they fill up the hoppers through the chute. Okay. So anyway, yeah, that was that was awesome. That was really, really cool to see. I haven't seen one of those in quite a while. But yeah, I could definitely see where the train was heading in that direction to see about filling up. So it could be that maybe they needed that extra power there, or they anticipated needing that extra power there in the middle to once all those hoppers get filled, because it will weigh them down. Unlike oil tankers, that's not so bad. I mean, it still is. It's a lot of weight still. But anyway, I know what I'm trying to say. But anyway, heading out, and the downtown area was just, it was very historic. A lot of small shops. I mean, it wasn't very big or anything, but there were some small shops there. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, sweetie. And there were some historic homes also, a beautiful little Victorian sitting there that has been remodeled and everything. Oh, it was just, I got a little tickle in my throat. Hold on a second. Yeah, we got some rain in too. So yeah, anyway, I thought about maybe going back the way I came, because I came across this cute little field. I don't know if it was just wild, it hadn't been tamed yet, or if maybe somebody was actually growing something there. I have no idea. I couldn't really quite tell, as that was the other thing too that I kept running into also were nurseries. where they were growing like trees. I saw a Christmas tree farm also, and they were also had right next to that these one trees that would, I don't know if they were like maples, like baby, like saplings of maples, oaks, or if maybe they were possibly fruit trees or what. I'm not entirely too sure what they were, but with driving by. But that was really, really cool to see. That was very eye-opening with being able to see that. And these were ones, I mean, they were growing in the ground, but they were being done in a way where you could uproot them, have the roots and all, and take it with you, okay? So that was really, really cool to see that really eye-opening. And then, of course, the Christmas tree farm. That was really, really cool. But anyway, I thought, like I said, I thought about going back the way I came, and because the sun was setting, and especially over that field, it looked like a field of wildflowers to me, and the way the sun was setting in it was just absolutely beautiful. But when I was going back through town, heading back the way I came across State Road 55, and I knew that was a road that would take me back to the cities. That runs right straight through the cities. And I was just like, I'd much rather be on a road that I'm familiar with than to be trying to go back the way I came and relying on my memory with picking up the roads that I needed to. I mean, yeah, I could throw it into the app to give me the directions to go home or what have you once I get past that state road or whatever. But I was just like, why waste a destination preference when I can just go ahead and head on home that way. So, yeah, I went ahead and did that. And after I got out of town a ways, I did come across the lake, which is beautiful. And with all the rain that we've had this year, I've noticed that all the lakes are cresting. At one point, the railroad tracks were even running. It was kind of a ditch on the one side, but the lake was on the other side. And it's about ready to crest over the tracks, so that's gonna get to be a little dicey there. They'll have to. I'm sure they're keeping an eye on it. That's for sure. But anyway, I got a little ways out of town, and I caught out of my rear view mirror the sunset. You couldn't miss it. I mean, it was just blasting out of my rear view mirror. Gorgeous. Beautiful reddish orange sunset, and I was just like, I'm pulling over. I don't care. I'm pulling over. There was this turn lane. I pulled over, threw on my flashers, and I'm standing there in the road. I've got cornfields on both sides of me, basically, and oh my gosh! And I got several pictures. And I was going to get back into my car, and that's when I noticed the wildlife sounds, the birds and the insects chirping, and I'm like, oh, I have to get a video of this, and hopefully my speaker would pick it up. I just watched it before I started recording this video. Sure enough, it picked it up. Of course, a car went by, so yeah, you'll hear that, and then unfortunately I had a mosquito trying to get me. And you hear me trying to blow it off, but yeah, at least that start there, it's not very long. I went ahead and threw it up on the YouTube account. That's the only way I can post videos to the blog. It's because I don't pay for the service. Otherwise, I could pay for storage, but I don't see the point in doing it. It's just a blog. I'm not that committed. To be paying for that service subscription. that sort of a build. It's like, yeah, I'm good. So, anywho, I just throw it, but I can throw things up on the YouTube account and then post it to the blog. So that's what I do. But anyway, if you go over to the blog, I did do a post for the combination video and also the pictures that I took. It's gorgeous, beautiful, well worth running over there and taking a look. And also there's the pictures and videos that I did the other night for Golden Lake over here, and there's some others also. If you do in the categories for Minnesota, if you search that, either search it or just select the category Minnesota, all of those posts will pop up. So yeah, but being out there, I'm so happy I got clear of everything, you know. I mean, yes, don't get me wrong. I still love and miss a lot of things out there. I will admit, with watching that sunset, it did make me think of those gorgeous, beautiful desert sunsets and missing them, you know. But at the same point, I was very, very happy to have gotten clear of a lot of that stuff, to be able to differentiate a lot of things and to be able to enjoy it out there and to really take a look at things, especially those acres upon acres upon acres of crops, you know. It didn't matter what the crops were. Really taking a look at that from more of a healed standpoint, a non-biased, and not emotional or anything. More from a logical standpoint, I guess you could say. And I was like, yeah, I can do this. So it's like, all right, let's do this. So I just got to get my credit up and everything, and maybe sock some money away into the account. I know you can do USDA loans without down payments. So yeah, I have some work to do, and I also need to see about the big thing is going to be showing that experience. That's going to be the big thing. Either education or volunteer or employment or something like that, with especially a full growing season. That's going to be the big thing. I would, to be honest with you, I would much rather have the experience of working at a farm or what have you for a full growing season. So I'll have to see how I can go about doing that. Yeah, I know Angie has offered opportunity where she could contact her cousin who lives in Georgia. He has a hobby farm down there, and I could have that opportunity. I'm just not entirely too sure about the situation, only because of personal reasons, not necessarily my personal reasons, but something that happened with him. So I would need to find out his mindset and so forth, and make sure it would be all right. And it would be down in Georgia. I do like Georgia. I've been through there several times. It's a beautiful state. I love Savannah. Oh my gosh! If you ever had a chance to go through Savannah, oh my gosh, beautiful, gorgeous. So, but anywho, and that would be another adventure for this little one who's looking at me now like, "What you talking about, woman? You looking to move again?" Possibly. The only other concern that would have, and it would be with her, is he's got 8 dogs. So I'm not entirely too sure about that situation. Either way. Yeah. Yeah. Would you like to go see where Mommy used to live? And of course, having to figure out how to get down there. That would be another thing too, because I don't have proper documentation in order to get through an airport now with all these new regulations. I think it is so stupid. I'm sorry. That is the dumbest regulation ever. Oh, I'm gonna have a star put on my driver's license to show that I live here and I'm not a terrorist or what. Oh, give it up. You don't think for 1 minute people can't fake that shit? Dumb. It's a waste of time and money and resources. National security, my ass. Whatever. It's control. Isn't that right? Just making it difficult for all the rest of us, basically. Whatever. Yeah. So I'd have to figure out how to get down there. Especially since this car is just a rental. That's okay. We'd figure it out one way or another. So, but yeah. I feel like I'm ready for things now. Yeah, I really do. Yeah. 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 So anyway, and that would be the thing too, if I'm going to possibly be working, doing what I'm doing out there, whatever, I'd have to switch my driver's license over, rent another car, all that sort of stuff. And I just switched my driver's license over. What the heck? And let's just go around the country switching my driver's license everywhere I go. Why not? So, but anywho, yeah, it was, and then unfortunately, of course, I wound up back in the cities, and and that was, it was wonderful those first several hours with work, but then getting back, I don't know what was going on last night, but I kept getting these requests to show up where only the drive-thru was open, and the drive-thrus were a mile long with cars. At one point, I don't think that was even an exaggeration. I mean, that line there at that Taco Bell was that long. And it was just, and what was sad is that they had the one person in there mopping up the floors. And it's like, with as long as what this line is, maybe you should get them off the floors and back there cooking. Preparing these orders. It's like, holy cow. And unfortunately, it was 2 orders I had to cancel. Yeah, my rating is really getting shot now because of having to be canceling. Especially last night with all of these. Another one that keeps popping up is the freaking Raising Cane's. I'm sorry. Well, they have it where you go in, you place the order, and pay for it with the Plus card. And basically the Plus card is what you use for the shopping orders. Well, I don't want to turn off that preference because the shopping orders is where I really make the money now. And like out there, it was getting to a point where people just were not paying. It was like you were going in, they were, I kid you not, I had this happen. I went to show up to do a shopping order. It was only about $5, but I was thinking it was just a few items or something. No, they wanted me to be doing their shopping for the week. It was over 20 items for $5 only. fuck that. I canceled it. But with here, people actually pay. um, yeah, I wanted to keep that open, but unfortunately, with that situation with Raising Cane's, it's like, and unfortunately, when the orders come in, I have a tendency to just hit on them so they don't wind up in somebody else's hands or what have you. And they're usually kind of nice dollar amounts or what have you, but when you get inside there, the damn Plus card doesn't work because Raising Cane's doesn't want to do anything about with fixing their system. And they're expecting you to pay for the order out of your own money and then get reimbursed from Uber. And unfortunately, these idiot drivers actually do it. So it's causing issues, and I refuse to take them anymore. And unfortunately, there's no way to be able to, unless you just dismiss the order, or if you hit it by accident, you have to go in and cancel, which of course affects your rating. Either scenario, it affects your rating. So between that and then with last night with having to be canceling orders, I mean, we're talking excessive wait times of a good 45 minutes. To be sitting there for, $5, $7 orders, it's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. That's wasting my time, and I was having to be doing it quite frequently last night. Oh, you're just so beautiful. She has this pretty look on her face. She's such a beautiful baby. Yeah. So, yeah, I got my butt chewed out last night by her. She's like, Mom, where were you? So, but anywho, should Mommy buy a farm and you can ride with Mommy in her tractor? I just love you. Yes, I do. I just love my little baby girl. She's just so precious, so special. Yeah. I know. She's just giving me that look like, Mommy, stop it. Stop kissing me. It's such a tragedy having to be kissed by her mommy all the time. Getting all kinds of weapons. Such a tragedy. It's so awful getting lovin's from Mommy all the time. I know. Oh. No. I have to run away. I tell her all the time if she had her own baby, she'd do the same thing. It's like, yes, you would. Yeah. Should I get you a baby? And then I can torture you and you can torture your baby. And then we can both torture the baby. Yeah, no, I'm your baby. Oh my goodness. So, but anywho, otherwise it was a pretty good night. Yeah, I did have a little bit of a scare with this one guy. It was just kind of a weird situation. I don't know. It was just weird, but obviously I got through it. But I finally cut out. I cut out a little bit early, primarily because I was having issues with these muscles here. They got a little flared up with the release, the emotional release that I had the other night with talking with Angie. That it got a little inflamed here, and then last night they were kind of flaring up a little bit. I don't know if it was a combination of the little bit of stress there. It was a little bit cooler last night. It's been kind of cool at nighttime, getting down into the 60s at nighttime, which is awesome. I love it. But the cooler temperatures could have been affecting it as well. So, but anywho, yeah. Also did, I cut out a little bit early last night. Also did a little bit of sewing on her little sampler, the one that I bought that reminded me of her. And I woke up this morning and I had a notification sitting there on my phone waiting for me. Oh, severe thunderstorms heading your way. Oh, let me take a look at the radar here a minute. Oh, shit. So, yeah, I'm kind of waiting for that to clear out. That's why I figured I'd go ahead and do this video first, because I actually need to run out. I need to get, take care of my banking, get gas, and get her some food, and me some alcohol swabs. So I got a little bit of running to do, but I'm waiting for the rain to pass before I head out. At least the more severe stuff. So, but yeah, that was just awesome. Absolutely beautiful out there. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. It's called Maple Lake. So head over there to the blog. Check out the pictures and videos that I got. Anywho, I should go. It's 9:55 and I'm getting hungry. So, and I got all that running I need to do first. So, anywho, I will talk to you later. Love you guys. Love you.